Okay, day 43, the warm-up for our quiz on topographic maps. This is the second quiz in Chapter 2. Question number 1, what is the altitude of point D? So looking at the map here, we have our contour lines, and one of them is labeled at 0 feet, and the other one is labeled at 100 feet. And we have a total of 3 steps. 1, 2, 3 steps to go from 0 to 100. So I divide 100 by 3 steps. I end up then knowing that each step is going to have a value of 33.3 feet. So let's label all of these contour lines, and that way we can tell the elevations of all of these letters. So we start off at 0, and we add our 33.3 feet, and we get then 33.3. That's kind of obvious. But we add that 33 again, and we'll get 66.6. If you wanted to round that to just simply 67, that's fine. So let's write 67 all over the place here. Okay, and then we go one more step of another 33.3, and we end up at the 100. Okay, it's actually like 99.9 or whatever, but we'll just call it even 100. And so over here, we go up a step, and this line is also 100. And I'm going to write that all over the place there. And then we go up another step, and this will be 133. Over here, we have the line that's labeled 100. I'll write 100 in a couple more places. The next line up is 133, and then the next line up is our 166. If you want to write down 167, that's fine. We're not going to be picky about the little detail of decimals. Okay, now the first question was, what is the altitude of point D? Now that we have everything labeled, we can figure this out. Point D is right here on this line, which is now labeled at 33.3. I'm just simply going to write down 33 feet for point D. Number 2, what's the altitude of point E? On our map, point E is right on this line. It's at the 66.6, or in other words, the 67-foot line. It doesn't matter which one of those numbers you write down. We're not going to be terribly picky about it. I'm going to write down 67. Number 3, what is the altitude of point F? Point F is right here. It is between the 100 contour line and the 133. So it's got to be something in between those two numbers. Now that full step is 33 feet. To estimate this location in the middle, we're going to take half of 33.3. Well, that's going to be an ugly decimal. Let's round it. So a half a step is going to be about 17 feet. We're only estimating, so it doesn't matter that we are rounding a little bit here away from that nasty decimal. So I take the lowest contour line, 100, and I add my half a step to get to F, and so that's going to be a height of 117 for point F. And I'll write it up here, line number 3, 117 feet. We're going to do something similar for the next question, number 4. What's the altitude of point B? Point B here is above the 166 contour line, so we estimate a half a step above that. 17 feet above 166. I'm going to have to go off here to the side, to the margin, and add those two together. We get 183 feet for the estimate of the top of this hill. That's a half a step above the last known contour line. Number 5, how many hilltops are shown? Remember that hilltops are shown by circles that go around each other. So here's one hilltop. We have these circles going around. And then we have another hilltop over here with these circles going around. So there are 2 hilltops in this map. Question number 5 is 2. Number 6, which is steeper, a path from A to B or a path from C to B? A to B is shown right here. Let's draw a line from one to the other. Now note how close together the contour lines are there. And then the other path that we want to compare it to is from C to B. That's here. Notice how spread out these contour lines are. So the contour lines on the top, on the north side, are closer together, and so that's going to be the steeper path. So question number 6, the answer is going to be the path from A to B. Number 7, what is the relief from D to E? So in our map, here's D. It has the height of 33. And then here's the dot for E. It has the height of 67. So the relief is the difference between those two. 67 minus 33 is going to be 34. So line number 7, the answer is 34. We get that by subtracting the higher altitude minus the lower altitude. Relief, that's the difference in altitudes. Number 8, what is the horizontal distance from D to E? So we're going to use this scale right here. To use that scale, I'm going to get another piece of paper, and I'm going to trace that scale. There's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I'm going to use this version of it to line up from D to E. And I would call that just 1 mile. It's a smidgen longer, but it's nowhere near 1.5. It's definitely closer to 1 than 1.5. So from D to E, we're going to call that horizontal distance 1 mile. Number 9, what is the slope from D to E? Remember, slope is the relief divided by the horizontal distance. The relief we just figured out a moment ago, that's 34, so that goes on top. And then the 1 mile is the horizontal distance, that goes on the bottom. So we have 34 divided by 1, which is just simply 34. So our slope for question number 9 is 34. Those are all the different skills that you're going to need for this quiz. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and then we'll take the quiz. Good luck.